Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah, that's how you get ready.
Yeah.
All right.
You reference yourself.
Yeah.
Me.
Are you going to cut this out?
Sure.
Okay.
No. What do you mean, like talking right now? Cut that out? Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I mean, are you telling me to cut it out right now?
Cut it out.
Okay, I will cut it out, but we're definitely not cutting this out of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. I don't know what I'm doing. Hi, welcome back to Story Not Story, episode 3, or Trace, depending on...
What language you speak?
Yeah, of the two that I'm going to use.
Yeah, you don't say it in all. You're not going to say it in all languages?
No, I don't really know how to say it in any more languages than that.
I don't think I do either.
Yep. What's your name?
My name?
Yeah, introduce yourself to the pod.
My name is Craig.
Oh, cool. My name is going to be Gloria today.
What?
Yeah, but it's actually Chyna.
I didn't know we were changing names.
Well, I just,
How would it be Gary then?
Gary and Gloria?
Yeah.
That's too alliterative.
I don't care.
Okay.
I would still marry you.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sweet, I think.
It is.
Oh, right. Well, we are back for another round of some delicious storytelling. And
Yummy.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we say at the beginning of this podcast?
You don't have to say anything else if we don't want to.
Okay.
I think we've seen a lot of lovely comments from all of you about the first few episodes.
Oh, it's been awesome. I
Yeah.
love getting feedback. If you guys like us and you want to compliment us, go and tweet at us at Stories in Bed.
Yeah.
Or
Facebook.com/storynotstory.
Yeah.
Podcast. I don't remember.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, and let us know suggestions for stories to tell.
Yeah, definitely. We keep giving each other suggestions for topics for stories, but we want to make stories for your suggestions.
Yeah.
So,
we need to know what the people want.
yeah. Because they keep telling us to give the people what they want, but we don't really know what you guys want. So we're just going to keep telling random stories.
And we are going to let you eat cake.
Yeah. Cake.
Yeah.
Can we just stop recording and go get cake?
Okay. Click. We're back.
Oh, we're back. Yum.
That cake was delicious.
Oh, so good.
I'm
in
so
my
full.
tummy.
Ugh.
We didn't get cake. We didn't even stop recording.
No. Why did you tell them that?
Oh, we did stop
Killing
recording.
the illusion.
I'm sorry. Well, is there anything else at the beginning? No. Okay. Moving on. Craig, do you want to tell me a story?
What?
About... Wait for it. I didn't think of a topic beforehand.
You're not supposed to.
Well, I could think of a topic.
You could if you wanted to. But
There's no rules about that.
I'm enjoying watching you try to think of a topic.
Tell me a story about a water slide.
A water slide.
Sure.
The story is going to be wet and wild.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, watch out.
Oh, yeah. If you're sitting in the first 4 rows, you may get splashed.
You may.
There's not really rows. This is a podcast. That's not how it works.
I'm going to tell the story of the world's first water slide.
Whoa.
So, there's beeping happening. Do you hear that?
I hear it. I hope the podcast doesn't hear it.
Well, it's too late now. I already called it out, even if they don't hear it. Anyway, so, way back. Like, way back. Like
1987?
No. 907.
What?
Yeah.
That was when the first water slide was?
This isn't the year 907. This is like the Earth has been around for 907 years.
What?
Yeah.
I don't...
Way back. What?
I just don't know how I feel about this scientifically.
Why? I didn't even make any scientific claims yet.
Well, it's about the first water slide. Are you going to start in 907 and then come up to a more believable time for the first water slide to happen?
Are you going to let me tell my story? Or
Evidently not. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, everybody knows that in 907, that's when... I'm not a scientist. Listen, this is metaphorically the year 907.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah. The volcanoes and mountains were forming on Earth. I'm pretty sure it happened much later than 907.
Sure.
But don't worry about that.
Okay. It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphorical years. The units were different back then.
Sure.
Mountains were forming, and water was also forming.
Great.
And this large mountainous protrusion formed with a nice little groove in it, and a spring at the top. It was like a volcano, but for water.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Water volcano.
And
that wasn't clever. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And it spurted water out.
Oh.
And down it went, down the groove.
Uh-huh.
Boom, water slide.
Okay, but is it a water slide if no one rides on it?
See, that's a philosophical question for another time. Well, or maybe it's for now.
It could be for now.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Little microorganisms rode it in the water.
Did they? Is it a water slide if they're just getting pushed down it because they exist in the water that is coming down it, or would does there need to be the intent to have recreation?
Well, you didn't let me tell you about Carl, the microorganism.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't know that Carl was going to come up.
I totally knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Planned all along.
Uh-huh.
Carl, the microorganism, he wasn't like other microorganisms.
No, he was.
He was what, you know? What was
no.
he?
I was just leading you in.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. He was
adventurous. He was a risk taker, if you will.
I will.
Okay. You're not a risk taker, though.
But I will for him.
Okay.
On his behalf.
Okay. He decided that, well, he lived in the water with his microorganism friends, and Daryl, the microorganism, kind of a bully, kind of a jerk, and everybody stayed away from the groove in the mountain because people would go missing if they
People would?
Well, they called them people.
Human beings?
They called them people.
People, microorganism people.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
It's just metaphorical people.
Okay, sorry.
And they would go, if they went near, they would go down and never come back.
Sure.
And he dared Carl to go down the water slide.
Wow.
And Carl...
Because his name's Daryl?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Daryl was actually his nickname because he dared people all the time.
Wow.
In a bully sort of way. He would also punch him with his microorganism fists.
He'd be like, I dare you to get punched by me.
Yeah. And then he'd punch him.
Yeah.
Which isn't really a dare because it's not really by choice to be punched by him, but hey, let's not get into that.
Not the brightest microorganism on the block either, though,
no.
Daryl.
Bullies tend to not be.
Sure.
And he dared him to go down the water slide, knowing that Carl would do it because he's so adventurous.
Sure.
But also knowing that Carl probably wouldn't come back.
Right. Oh, gosh, what happens next?
Well, Carl did it. And he went down the water slide.
Mm-hmm.
It was a water slide.
How? Yeah. Well, now I believe you because he went down it with intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went down there, never came back up to the top. But good, it's okay because there were so many other microorganisms all around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Daryl was way up at the top, away from him.
In fact, there was like way more microorganisms down at the bottom, and it was a whole city that was way cooler, and it was filled with awesome hipsters and taco trucks.
Love it.
And Daryl was mostly alone because he bullied everybody, and so the top, eventually everyone at the top went down the slide
except Daryl.
Well, Daryl finally did at the end after being alone for so long and realizing the error of his ways.
And was he not a total jerk when he got down to the bottom?
Still kind of a jerk,
Okay.
but a little better.
Okay.
He was a little better.
Okay, now technical question.
Yeah.
It's like a volcano sort of, but like with water, right?
Yeah, right.
And then there's like this groove, and the characters in this story are microorganisms, so they're very tiny.
Right, yeah.
How big is this volcano water thing?
20 feet.
Okay, so they're really little. Like, how long does it...
It's not very big. 20 feet.
But they're microorganisms. They're really little.
Right.
You know?
But water moves pretty fast.
That's true. I guess they're just hanging around for the ride, so it wouldn't really take them any longer than it would take you or I to get down this water slide.
I'm assuming. I mean, this is...
I think the science checks out.
I think it does.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're just getting started here.
This isn't the end of the story?
No.
Oh, okay. Great.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
So the microorganisms, they just they microorganismed around, and combined, and over the millennia evolved into other animals,
right.
And the water slide, it remained.
Yeah.
The spring remained, and they evolved into fishies and turtles, and then amphibians that could go on the land, and then they could walk, and then and many of them having Carl's DNA in them.
Wow.
And they eventually developed societies, and then one day in 1987.
Okay. It's a good year.
Yeah. Reagan presidency was coming to an end. I'm just trying to think of things that were happening during 1987.
Sure.
I believe Cheers, the show Cheers, was probably happening, going strong at that point. Anyway, there was this fella by the name of Georges.
Georges?
Yeah.
Wow, that is an unfortunate name.
Why? Why is that an unfortunate name?
It's not a real name.
Yeah, it is.
Georges?
Yeah, that's a real name. Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Georges.
It's not a real name.
No, it really is. It is really. I don't remember how to spell it.
Are you pronouncing it correctly?
Or is it like just GES at the end? I think it could be. Yeah.
This is a real name.
Yeah, GEOR. There's probably people named it listening right now.
Please write to us. I need to know how to spell your name.
It's probably GEORGES, I'm guessing.
Georges.
Yeah, Georges.
I want to focus on nothing else for the rest of the episode except this name.
Well, see, young Georges is named Georges, and that's a real name. That's what he would tell people that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
He would have to.
Yeah. He had an idea. He wanted to own a water park.
Uh-huh.
And he was looking around town for a location for a water park. What?
I was just holding back a yawn. I'm sorry.
And he...
It's not because I'm bored. I'm just tired.
He went to a town in mid Wisconsin.
Of course. I see where this is going.
What?
Nothing.
Wisconsin Dells.
Oh.
And there's like kind of rocky outcroppings around the Wisconsin Dells.
Mm-hmm.
And he found the perfect place. There was a little mountain that already had a water slide.
What?
Right there. Right near the Wisconsin Dells. And he went down it.
Uh-huh.
And he hurt himself.
Oh.
Because it was a mountain, and that's just not
That's
safe.
not a good idea.
It wasn't safe at all.
Yeah.
So instead, he thought he was going to make a water park around that mountain, but he changed his mind and he made Noah's Ark, America's largest water park in Wisconsin Dells, which has many, many water slides. I've been there. It's really, really fun. It's
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But that mountain water slide, it was the mountain water slide from the year 907 on Earth. It survived. It's still to this day. And Georges would study the curves and the contours of that water slide to inspire his water slides.
And also kind of to tell him what not to do because he hurt himself going down.
Exactly. And that's why the safety standards are so high at Noah's Ark, America's largest water park.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Great.
Yeah. And then he just lived out the rest of his days, and he sadly grew old, and he was already pretty old, and he died, and his gravestone said, "Here lies Georges." Yes, that's a real name.
Fascinating.
The end.
Okay. Great.
Thank you.
I'm just so perplexed by this name. I've never heard this before in my entire life.
You never heard the name Georges?
No. I'm gonna just hang on. You keep talking.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
I gotta keep talking?
Yeah, unfortunately. Georges.
So yeah, she's looking up Georges.
I see gorgeous.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh. She's looking it up.
Holy crap.
Noah's Ark truly is a great water park, you guys.
Not a sponsor.
No,
you can stop talking now.
I grew up out near Wisconsin Dells, so I've been there many times, and it is pretty great.
It's a real freaking name.
I told you it's a real name.
Georges Agricola was a German Catholic scholar and scientist, and he's known as the father of mineralogy.
We were talking about rocks.
We were talking about rocks.
And Georges went down a water slide.
Wow.
Rock.
Yep.
Wow. That rocks.
Oh no.
I'm gonna make a good dad.
I can't believe
dad jokes.
That this is a real name, but I've never heard of it.
And
okay.
I spelled it right?
It was like Georgius. I don't know if you said that.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Well, then no, you did not say it.
But
right.
I think it can be spelled that way.
Oh. Okay.
So there.
Well.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Could you tell me a story?
Sure. What about?
About Pluto.
Pluto?
The planet.
The planet.
Yeah.
Not the dog.
Not the dog.
Okay.
I mean, the dog could be in the story if you wanted. But...
Well, sure. Anything could happen.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time.
Oh. Wait a second.
Yeah.
I never got to name my story.
Oh, what's your story called?
That's what I was going to do.
Uh-huh.
And I should have been thinking of that while you were looking up Georges.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't.
Well, you had to keep talking.
Well, the name of it is The Adventures of Carl and Georges.
Okay. It's vague.
The Watery Adventures of Carl and Georges.
Wow.
That's the name of it.
I like it.
The Watery Adventures of Carl and Georges.
Okay. Everybody's going to be like, what is this name? That doesn't...
No, they're going to be like, I want to hear that story.
Well, sure.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
A long time ago in like 2007.
That's not very far. Very long.
Pluto stopped being a planet? That year. That's the year that this is set in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just call it 2007. I don't remember.
It seems close to that time.
Yeah.
I think it might have been earlier, actually, but
2005.
I'm not sure. I think we're close.
Let's call it 2007.
Sure.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so way back in 2007.
Yeah.
There was. I'm trying to figure out who's going to be the main character.
Wait. You have to. You ruined the illusion. I thought you knew what you were going to say.
We are making these up on the spot.
Oh.
And everybody knows it.
Oh.
So there's a planet Pluto, and Pluto everybody thinks that it's just a cold dead rock out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it is.
No, Pluto is a planet with feelings.
You're putting your hand on your heart, by the way. I'm telling them. I'm telling them. Yeah.
It's very, and it's a very feeling planet.
It's got the feels.
Yes. Yes. So let's call Pluto a she.
Sure.
Let's just assume. So she's out there in the middle of space.
Mm-hmm. The
all
outer
alone.
the outer variety.
Neptune comes to visit every now and again.
Wouldn't it be Pluto if it were a she?
Can you not?
Okay. Okay.
It could be, but it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. And, wouldn't it be George if it were a name?
Georges is a name.
I just can't let it go.
Let it go.
It just doesn't sound like a name.
There could be someone named Georges listening.
Please write to us.
Yeah, I apologize for the rudeness of my wife right now.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I've never heard of it.
Okay. All right. So you seem to not like things you've never heard of.
I said it's not that I don't like it.
Anyway, Pluto was
out here hanging out. Neptune comes to visit every now and again. Sometimes space rock comes by.
Wait, so does Neptune have a soul then and have feelings?
Yeah, they all do. All the planets.
All right.
Yeah. Comets drop by every now and again. They're like, "Hey Pluto, what's up?" And Pluto's like, "Not much. I'm just in space and there's nothing really happening out here."
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping. I hear that those humans on Earth are doing big things and they're into space exploration.
Yeah.
And I would just love to have some visitors. I'm just out here so lonely being the 9th planet.
Does Earth have a soul then, too? The
Sure.
planet itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't you heard of Mother Earth?
Gaia, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, how does Earth feel about all these humans all over it?
Earth is not super happy about it.
Okay.
If we're being perfectly honest.
Okay.
It's really not working out for her.
Okay.
Yeah. It started out fairly okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice when they figured out agriculture because that's just kind of like a nice back scratch when you're tilling the soil and everything.
I like to think that when I'm scratching my back, I'm agriculturing my back.
Yeah. And Earth was like, "Oh yeah, right there. I've had that itch for millennia, and now finally that's good. That's real good."
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's not really working out so great because we keep pumping clouds of noxious fumes into the atmosphere, and Earth is like,
Earth is coughing?
Yeah.
What form does that take? Earth coughing.
Yes, it takes a form.
Okay.
Let's move past it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So anyway, Pluto is the main character of the story, though.
Yeah.
So let's get back out there.
Sure.
Into deep space.
Ooh.
So Pluto is just waiting, and all the other planets are passing along various updates on how space exploration is going from the population on Earth. And the moon shouts over to Mars "I got visitors. They came in a rocket ship and it was really cool." And then they left, but they stuck flags in me. It was great.
Yeah.
And then so Mars now is hoping that it will be next and everything. And there are some planets like Jupiter who are well, they're never going to come here.
I'm just too far away.
It's just too volatile.
Oh, yeah.
Here. There's no place for them to land. But that's okay. These other planets down the line, they can get Earth visitors.
Now, is Jupiter itself volatile or just the surface of Jupiter?
Just the surface.
Okay.
Jupiter's actually a really nice guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jupiter's a man.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We've had all women so
Wait,
far.
what's the difference between a male planet and a female planet?
It's gender is just it's a spectrum. There's no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not really tied to physical features.
So they're self-identified as?
Yeah.
Okay.
Myself identified them as.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm making up the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Jupiter's well, they're never going to come visit me because it's just not safe for them to land on my surface. But, you guys down the line, Neptune and Pluto and all of that. You guys can enjoy your visitors. And yeah, so then one day Pluto gets word passed down to her about a new development on Earth.
Yeah.
They've just determined that she's not a planet after all. She gets kicked right out. Which is such a bummer because Pluto has spent her entire existence out here trying to be the best, most planet-deist planet that's ever planeted.
No. Was Pluto trying to be a planet even before humans labeled Pluto as a planet?
Yeah, well, because everybody else is like, you're all right in a row. You're hanging out together in the same solar system.
Yeah.
So it just seems natural that you're all like part of the same group.
Yeah, so Pluto felt a part of the planet group.
Yeah.
Even before they called them planets.
And then there was a word for it.
Yeah.
And Pluto got labeled as one, and Pluto was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I always knew in my heart that I was a part of this, and now it's true.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that was ripped away from her. Her identity was ripped away from her.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Can you imagine living for that many years, knowing who you are?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden one day, nope.
Yeah, like suddenly Craig's not a human, Craig's a cricket or something.
Yeah. What if
I'm the same, like I look like a human, but there's some features about me that make me a cricket.
Like, actually, you're not a human. We've determined that you're just a cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big bummer.
The mini fridge just turned on. We're in a hotel right now, and the mini fridge just turned on.
That's very true.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
There's probably lots of weird noises happening.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. This is a Weird Noises episode of Story Not Story.
Weird Noises episode.
Yeah.
That was the room. That must have been like the TV trying to turn on or something.
It was so crazy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it was also weird how your mouth moved when those noises happened.
Well, because I was shocked.
Yeah.
Let's
just keep saying that.
Anyway.
So.
Yeah.
Pluto, all of a sudden, not a planet.
Yeah.
And all the other planets are passing down their condolences, and Earth is like, I am so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They are just ruining me.
Yeah.
And now they're hurting you too. And I don't know what I'm gonna do about this human problem.
Now, how do they communicate with each other?
They yell.
But I don't hear it.
Well, yeah, it's a frequency that isn't audible to humans.
Really? Could you like approximate the sound? Like what it would sound like for Earth to say that, to like translate, like detranslate it and make it like what it would originally sound like?
No, because I've never heard it. So.
Oh, yeah, I guess we can't.
I imagine it's probably, I mean, if I was going to put it in a frequency that humans can hear, because otherwise it probably sounds like this.
Like a mini fridge turned on?
Like a mini fridge.
Yeah. Okay.
Approximately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe sort of like a hello.
So like it sounds like,
you're not a planet.
See, it makes sense because it sounds like they're falling, and in space it is just always falling.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's why I chose that.
That's brilliant.
I know, I'm pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Earth is like really apologetic. Pluto is just really shaken by this. And Earth is pissed.
Oh.
Yeah, because she feels responsible because this human problem.
Earth grew. Is Earth a man or a woman? It's a woman.
Yeah.
Earth grew these humans.
Yeah, and has allowed them to continue their existence.
Yeah.
And she's mad.
Yeah.
So she starts, throwing all sorts of curveballs at the humans and is like trying to get them to become more aware of the toll they're taking on her and the toll they're taking on the entire solar system.
What sorts of curveballs?
Just, tornadoes and yeah.
So the
earthquakes.
Oh my God. So like these natural disasters are because they just stopped labeling Pluto a planet?
Well, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Sure.
Yeah.
The straw that broke the Earth's crust, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, don't. You
No.
don't have to do that one. No.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. And then in the future, it's the year 2025, so it hasn't happened yet.
Uh-huh.
But in the future, stuff gets pretty bad for the humans, and they're just not getting it. And some people are like, we need to be more respectful of this planet that we live on.
Uh-huh.
But other people are like, nah, bro.
Why can't the planets just like accept Pluto despite the humans?
Well, the planets do.
Yeah.
But like human consciousness and all of these, Pluto is just worried now that humans in space exploration, that there's never going to be an interest in coming to visit Pluto, and Pluto's lonely, and Pluto wants to like be friends with humans. It really wants to be a good host. She wants to be a good host and like show them around her planet and everything.
Yeah.
And she's just given up hope that that she's ever going to be visited. She's just going to be out there, a cold dead rock in space, by herself forever. And having occasional visits from like comets and satellites and stuff it's nice and everything, but it just gets lonely. It's just lonely and dark.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I interrupted about the humans and their future.
Yeah. So they finally get the memo and they start treating the Earth right, and also Pluto becomes a planet
When
again.
does this happen?
2025.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's coming.
Mark
my words. Don't mark my words.
Don't? 2025? Like,
Yeah.
what happens? What do they do?
There's a big ceremony, and they're like, actually, we were wrong. Pluto should be a planet.
But it is, I mean, technically, it depends on the definition of a planet.
They changed the definition of a planet so that it includes Pluto.
All right.
Yeah.
Then it's going to have to include a lot of other things.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's going to be tons of planets. It's going to be great.
Okay.
And it'll be like a big party in the solar system.
But what about the whole Earth stuff? The problems on Earth?
Oh, yeah, we fix it.
How?
Well, it's technology that hasn't really been invented yet.
Well, invent it for the story.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not really a scientist. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, it's metaphorical.
Okay. Well, we what do we do? What are the problems? We stop burning fossil fuels. And we really solar power it up, and like wind power.
So like, does that stuff
and stuff?
It replaces fossil fuels?
Well, yeah, by 2025.
Wow.
Yeah.
So solar power must have got real cheap.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
We have 8 years.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And yeah. That's about it.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's just, it all worked out.
It all worked out.
Well, how did the planets, how'd they react? Are they all happy? Everything's good?
Well, they're super happy because they really love Earth.
Yeah.
Earth is like a really good planet to know, really good friend and everything.
How so? Why do they love Earth so much?
Well, she always makes sure that everybody else is taken care of, and she asks how they're doing, and I don't know. I've lost interest in elaborating on this story.
You gave up on the story.
Yeah,
No. You ended it. You ended it.
I ended it. You kept going.
I'm just curious about the mythology and all the everything going on in this story.
I really didn't have time to develop a mythology because I was making it up off the top of my head.
I understand. I was just curious.
Okay.
Because I was into it. I'm interested.
Yeah.
And
well,
I'm
we can
glad.
Talk about it more
I'm
later.
glad that it ended happy. That Pluto becomes a planet. All of Earth's problems are solved. It's like, that's very good.
I know, and it'll happen within the next 8 years, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just interested in details.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty unlikely story to come to pass. I don't think Pluto's ever actually going to be a planet again.
Oh.
I know.
Now it's sad again.
Well, it's sad in real life, but in the story, it's still happy.
But what about Earth's problems?
Well,
man, we were ending on such a high note.
I know.
I'm
optimistic that we will come to our senses a little bit.
I think there's plenty of evidence to show that things could improve.
Sure.
But that's another podcast.
That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah. What's the name of the story?
It is oh goodness. Pluto gets promoted. And nope, that's it. Pluto gets promoted.
Yep. And what was my story? The Watery Adventures of Carl and Georges.
Uh-huh.
I hope you enjoyed our stories. I think they were pretty optimistic and happy.
Yeah.
And
water parks.
Water parks. All of Earth's problems and Pluto's problems solved.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Earth and Pluto.
What was that?
I have no idea.
Hotels are weird, you guys. On that note,
that's about it.
See you in a week. Good night.
Good night.